I'm sure everybody got to see that. Dacha Hao Wosha Michael Larson Wosha Nima Depungyu. Hello everybody, this is Mike Larson from BBC IML, and this is A Moment with Mike. You might notice my eyes are a little red today. The allergies are bad today. It's been windy out there and dry, and my allergies seem to impact me. Hopefully this finds you well tonight. And going to talk a little bit tonight about what some drivers in my life, what I've found that really drives me in my life. And a little story about actually my father, one of the major drivers in my life. I was about 6 years ago, I was pretty well overweight. I weighed 265 pounds. And that's very heavy for me. Now I lifted weights and I worked out and all of that kind of stuff, but my eating habits weren't that great. I ate a lot of meat and potatoes. I was the Great American Diet, and I went to an event that learned about health, but that really isn't what started it for me. It was my father his health started failing him, and he was in his early 80s when this happened, and I could tell that he wasn't as healthy as he once was, and that really bothered me because he was such a strong man, the strongest man I ever knew, and he should have had another 10 years on his life at least, but his health started failing him. He had a heart condition he had to take care of, and there was a number of other things. And then eventually, before that all started though, before he eventually got pancreatic cancer. But before that started, there were some signs that I noticed, but didn't put two and two together. But just the fact that his health was failing, and I've always had the dream to create this empire that I can help people be a better person, to find what their potential is, and then reach their potential. So I went to this event, and I was way overweight. I was 265 pounds, like I said. And I was into weightlifting, and I enjoyed weightlifting. I started that when I was in football. But even my health, I had some health problems. I had stomach problems, and they would give me migraine headaches. And I never put the two and two together. Oh, they were painful. I would see, when the migraines would happen, I could only see part of everything. And then the headaches would come on, and it was just terrible. And I would get those probably once a month. And like I said, I was overweight. And then I went to this seminar, and he talked about health and things that you just never know about diet and how your body is supposed to process food within 4 hours, not 8 hours like we say. If it takes 8 hours, a lot of times we're creating acid in our bodies, and then our body has to retain fluids and fats. But this was causing me stomach problems. And there's a nerve that goes down the back of through your ear and down the back of your spine and into your stomach. And when you have stomach issues, sometimes it'll cause headaches, it'll cause migraines, and that's what I was getting. And when I went there, I learned how to eat properly, not eating carbs and proteins together, but vegetables with everything, and you eat fruits separate of everything. And I loved dairy. And you have to give up dairy. Our bodies are not designed to handle dairy products. It's an AA protein that our body uses to fight off diseases, and when it's overabundant, then we get autoimmune deficiencies, and that was what I was having, was an autoimmune deficiency. But I wanted to create this empire, and my father had created his own world where he had worked in the lumber industry for many years, and then after the lumber industry, he had these dreams of traveling and fishing and all these things, and he did it for a while, after retirement, but I thought that got cut short. And I didn't want that to happen. That really made me sad that he couldn't do those types of things. So I wanted to make sure that I gave myself a health plan that would take me to a point where I should live as long as I can and be able to live an active lifestyle. So when I build this empire, I'm going to be able to enjoy it. And that was my driver to change my eating habits. I love steak and meat and potatoes, and I loved my dairy, and I gave them all up, and it changed my diet. I lost 85 pounds in 6 months, and my headaches went away, and everything changed for me. And I kept on like that for a while. And then I kind of got off of that a little bit, and I started to gain the weight back again. And then we found out my father had pancreatic cancer. That was a shock. That hurt. That was to think you're going to lose him, and it's such a sudden thing. Now, my father was a hero in my mind, because what happened was he only survived 3 weeks, and I believe that was by his choice. He stopped eating because he didn't want, I believe he didn't want my mother to see him suffer. And he didn't want her to have to go through an extended period like that. So I believe he stopped eating to let his life go. And think about how hard that would be. But that made him a hero in my book. But I saw him go through that, and I saw what that did to my mother. And that reignited my drive to be healthy. So when I create what I want to create, so I can have a lifestyle in retirement where I can travel where I want to, was the driver I needed to get back to eating properly and lifting weights. And that's kind of what my story is today, is when your why is big enough, your how comes easy. And to this day, I get up every morning, I get up at 5 a.m. and I read the Bible, and I meditate, and I journal. And then I get up and I have breakfast, and I go walk my dogs, and then I work out. And it's a routine I do every day. And do I really enjoy the workout part of it? Some days it's hard for me to push myself to do it. But what I always choose, what I learned from my father's story and what it meant for me in my life. And I'm Christian, so I believe God never closes a door without opening another one for us. And that was what he was using. My father's story was for me and many other people. He's always got a plan. But it was to teach me about finding your why so that you can do the things you need to do in life to be healthy and to live the life that God intended for us. So every day when I want to work out, I find something I want to do during the day that's I'm really going to enjoy, that really drives me. And I know I'm going to need energy for that, because when I work out, I get energy. And that's what always drives me. So that is what I learned from all of that, is I had always heard when the why is big enough, the how comes easy. And we hear that to exhaustion, where people talk, you have to have this big why. But until you feel that in your life, and you get to understand how important that is to you, and when you don't have a big enough why to drive you to do the things you need to do, like being healthy, it isn't until all of that happens that it really makes sense to you. So that's what I would tell people today is we do programs for dreams and goals. And when you find that dream or goal that's really important to you, the rest comes easy. And we do a program that helps you walk through it. It uses things like NLP, where you visualize. You really can't, you're not going to achieve a lot of things until you can really visualize them. Hard work is important, but an understanding of being able to visualize where you want to go is far more important. So I thank you for joining me today. Join us on Inspired Motivated Leadership, the Facebook page. We've got lots of offers on there if you want further help with your life. Continue to follow me every day. I will have this, unless I change the time the previous night, I got something going on. I will have these at 7 o'clock every night. And I really would like some input back in on something maybe you'd like for me to talk. What's something that's important to you that you would like me to talk about? I'm open to any subject, but I'll have a subject every day. And if somebody has a great subject they can bring back to me, that would be fantastic. I'd look forward to it. So have a super fantastic day. Once again, this has been A Moment with Mike, and I hope this finds you well, and we will talk soon.